Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this is going to be a quick lesson just based on pestilence, because this is one of the things that's going to be taking place here in these last days. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this definition, get some precepts, and Lord's will you're edified. It says, pestilence refers to a widespread, highly contagious, and deadly epidemic disease, often synonymous with the bubonic plague or Black Death, but also broadly means any destructive or pernicious influence, like a plague of insects or moral corruption. Says a virulent, fatal, contagious illness, with the historical Black Death being the prime example. Said anything that causes widespread harm, evil, or destruction, used metaphorically in literature and speech. So in these last days that we're living in, there is going to be a lot of destruction and a lot of death that's going to take place via various reasons. And some of those reasons will be diseases. The Lord is going to have diseases and viruses spread, which is going to kill a lot of people. People are going to die from the civil wars and the race wars that are going to take place. People are going to die from famines. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all of these were created for vengeance. So like it says right here, anything that causes widespread harm, evil, or destruction. Famines cause widespread destruction and death. Diseases, viruses, those also cause widespread harm, evil, and destruction and death. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And that ultimate sword is going to be those nuclear missiles that the Lord is going to use to erase America off the face of the earth at the end of World War III, which is going to be a nuclear war. And it's going to be the war to end all wars. Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Jump down to verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And if you've been paying attention, you can see that the world is on the brink of war. Civil wars, race wars, and ultimately world war. There's a lot of tension. Exodus 15:3 says that the Lord is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. So we know that in war, there's a lot of destruction. A lot of people die. Buildings get destroyed. Because there's bombs being dropped on people, bullets flying, missiles being shot off. A lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, and a lot of death. And that is the time and season that we are in. Wars, viruses, diseases, a lot of different plagues and pestilences just sweeping, famine as well. Just sweeping through these nations and killing people. 2 Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And you look up the definition of perilous and it means full of danger or risk. And that is the time that we're in. There is going to be a famine. There's going to be more widespread power outages. There's going to be more fires and storms and tempests and earthquakes and shootings and stabbings and volcano eruptions and tsunamis and viruses and diseases that are going to get unleashed. And those of us of the hopeful elect, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we're aware of what's going on. The Lord has blessed us with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. So we know what to expect in these last days. Meanwhile, all these wicked people, these simple-minded people, they're over here thinking that no matter what happens, Esau is going to come in and save the day, with his vaccines and things like that. But nobody can deliver you out of the hands of the Heavenly Father. Like it says in Deuteronomy 32:39. It says, or 38. It says, see now that even I am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound. Slakia. I think I messed that up. Let me just get it. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that even I am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So whatever plagues, whatever pestilences the Lord decides to unleash upon the earth, whoever is meant to be affected, wounded, and killed by those pestilences will be wounded and killed. And there is nothing that Esau can do to stop these things from happening. There's nothing that the government can do. There's nothing that the police can do, the military, the firefighters, the doctors. There's nothing any of them can do to stop these plagues and pestilences that the Heavenly Father is going to unleash upon this earth in these last days. The only way that you're going to survive any of these things is if you have the hedge of protection of the Heavenly Father, which majority of people on this planet do not have, because they're wicked and evil in the eyes of the Lord. And they have to suffer and be punished for their wickedness and for their evil doings. So these last days are not going to be smooth. They're going to be very chaotic and dangerous and destructive and violent and deadly. And that's why all you sincere brothers and sisters must continue to stay on your watch. Continue to watch the news and read the news and watch brothers' videos and, stay up to date as much as you can as to what's going on in the world around you. Because the Lord is definitely going to turn things up a couple of notches. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. This year, 2026, is going to be worse than last year. It's going to be a lot worse. Like all the brothers say, those times of fun and folly they're very quickly coming to an end. That's why you have so many people saying that they wish they could go back to like 2018, 2017, things like that. Because around 2019, 2020, that's when everything completely went upside down. And things have not gotten any better. Things have only gotten continuously worse. And that's exactly what the men of the Lord, starting of course with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been talking about. Saying that things were going to get worse. All of the partying and the drinking too much and the doing the drugs and just being wicked, all of that was going to go out the window. And it's been going out the window, and a lot of people have been feeling it. And like it says in Isaiah 48 and 22, there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh unto the wicked. And you see these wicked people, they are struggling. They are struggling, they are suffering, and they deserve every bit of it. Because they are daily provoking the Heavenly Father unto wrath. And now they're finding out what happens when you provoke the Lord unto wrath. Nothing but non-stop judgments and great miseries get brought upon you. And these people, they haven't experienced anything yet. The Lord has a whole lot more judgment in store for these people. And this year, the Lord is going to show a lot more of that. So it's beautiful times for those of us of the hopeful elect, because all of these judgments and prophecies coming to pass means that we're getting closer to getting up out of here. But for these wicked people, it's horrible, because this is all they know. All they know is wickedness. And now the judgments of the Lord are just constantly being poured upon them and ruining their fun. A lot of people, they can't smoke their way out. They can't drink their way out. They can't party their way out of the suffering that the Lord is bringing upon them. The only option is for them to die. And they're going to end up that way anyway. So as I've said before, for all you sincere brothers and sisters, strap in, because it's about to get very, very wild out here. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, the water Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time. Shalom.